Okay, so I just sent a message out. Some of you may have already seen it if you were just coming in, if you have that on your phone, but it's all right if you don't. You'll see it later, but I'm going to tell you about it right here. So we're changing plans slightly. We're not going to use Audacity like I had planned. The reason being, there's a workaround that you have to go through to get it on a Chromebook. And I know that some of you probably won't be using Chromebooks, but I want everything to be the same. So we're actually going to use Anchor FM, which is a really easy tool to use. It's just going to require that one of you get a profile on there, but it's free. You just put your information in there, and it's really simple. And I'm going to take you through it and show it to you here in just a second. But it's got a lot of neat features on it, and I think it'll make it actually easier. Audacity's easy, but I think Anchor FM, I think you'll enjoy it once you get into it. The other thing that we have going on is next week is weird, right? You guys remember how next week is? So no class for us. Well, no regular Thursday class is happening, okay? So your Thursday classes are getting chopped off. You're not going to have them next week. So you're just going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then your Friday classes are on Thursday. Okay. It's really confusing. We've never done that before. I don't know why they're doing it that way. So no. Just next week. Next week is what? What's next week? Fall break, yeah, and midterm. So you will have your regular Monday class, your regular Tuesday class, your regular Wednesday class, and then instead of your Thursday class, you're going to have your Friday class, okay? And then no class on the actual Friday, okay? Because that's your fall break.
Some will go to the same classes 2 days in a row.
Yes. I don't get it either. What they did it, I think, because there are some maybe Friday only classes, or is there something with lab that's factoring in there? But yeah. So then we miss out as far as our class, our Tuesday, Thursday classes, we only get to have once, which is fine. I'm going to have everybody come though on Tuesday. Okay. So whether we're in here or whether I can get us scheduled somewhere else where we have a little bit more room, we will have that. So nothing really changes for you per se as far as this class is concerned, but your other Thursday classes you won't have at all. So just remember that, okay? You got to figure it out, Cam? Yeah, think so? Need me to send out a reminder?
No, I think I got it.
Okay, good. It won't be, so since we're doing it, since I'm stretching it out, that gives you more time to work, okay? So things aren't going to be due this week as far as making your recording. If you've already started that, that's fine. If you've already started did you start recording on Audacity? Okay, that's fine. You can keep it that way. I'll let you keep it that way, or you guys can change. It's up to you. Okay, if it's done, it's done. That's cool too. Okay. I just ran into this problem kind of today, so that's why things have changed. So it's one of the great things about education. If you have a little issue, you just punt and make changes and keep going. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to share Anchor FM with you today, and then you'll have you'll have today if you want to start recording, which it might be a good idea. If you are still in the planning stages, you're going to want to really get that figured out because you're going to have it recorded and turned in by next week, so that I can have them before the fall break and the midterm. Okay. What else is coming up that's due? Today's the 6th. Yeah, the plagiarism certification test. So if you have not completed that, you better get going. Don't do it the night before because you're not going to get it done in time probably, for many of you, because it's not super easy. So I'm going to share a couple things and then I'll cut you loose on whether you want to work, spread out here and work, or whether you want to go outside where it's warmer, or whatever you need to do. Let's see. I don't want to do that. Okay, we're going to watch a quick video.
Lindsay, and I'm here to tell you all about using EDUC350 for student podcasting. If you haven't already signed up for your own free account, I would suggest doing so. That way you can test out and explore before you release the project and the platform to students. I've already logged in, and I've clicked on create a new episode up here in the right-hand corner. As you can see, that brings me to a canvas with the tools to the left and an episode builder to the right. What's nice about Anchor.fm is that students can record directly within the website, or they can download the app to their phone and record right from their phone. You click on record, it brings you to an active live recorder. You can start recording now. I'll just hit the button so you see what happens. Stop recording. That, once it gets done thinking, shows up as a sound file that is available to be used in the creation of the podcast episode. So you can see every segment that is recorded is off to the left. And in order to get it into the episode, you have to click on the plus button. If you hover, it says add to episode. So say I want to add this one. Once you click the plus, it shows up over here to the right. And from there, you can add all of the segments that you like, and you can drag and drop to reorder them, and you can add transitions.
Okay, so she's already recorded these. She hadn't recorded these. All she's going to do is press record. I'll show you that. I've got some that I'll show you how to do that. But all she did is all you'd have to do is press record, and then you hit start recording, and then you start talking, and it's going to record for you. Okay. She has several, obviously, that are recorded there in her library.
Another nice thing is you can click on the musical notes to add background music. So if I wanted to add background music to this segment, I could click on it. Maybe I want to match the tone. Dirt bike lovers. Hit apply. And then when that's done, you'll see little musical notes in the upper left-hand corner to indicate that there is a background soundtrack other than just the voice. So that's kind of a nice feature. Let's go back here. If you click on messages, this isn't a feature that I'm able to use with my students due to my district's policy. It used to be a cool feature though. You can click this button to share voice message link, and it copies it, and then you can send that to anyone who you would like to have a voice and a chance to speak in the podcast episode. It's kind of a way to do interviewing without the one-on-one back and forth. So they can leave voice messages, and you can kind of sort through them. They'll appear here under the messages tab, and you could then add them by clicking the plus to the podcast episode. If you click on library, this is a chance for you to curate reusable segments. So say you want your students to be recording multiple podcast episodes rather than just one. They could record an intro and an outro and get that perfect in the way that they want it and add it to the library, and that could be a consistent way to begin and end their podcast. If you click on transitions, you can see that these are pre-made little sound bites that you can click the plus and add to the episode in between segments. Makes it sound more professional in going from one thing to the other. is a give and take with Anchor.fm. It doesn't have fancy schmancy editing functionality, but it is really easy to use for students, especially those who might not be as familiar with technology and editing tools, and who might be a little bit nervous about the technology aspect of publishing a podcast. So that being said, there isn't a lot of second by second editing you can do here in terms of snipping things out and layering, but you can click on the three dots for additional options. And if you have a longer segment that you decide you want to split into multiple segments, you can click on that and decide where you want it split, and then you can save. This can be really nice if you decide that you want to break that up and then drag it to a different spot in the podcast. But other than that, you really kind of have to know what you want to say, perhaps a script in advance, and know how you want to break that up. I usually tell my students, because it doesn't have fancy editing, it's good for them to not try to do the whole podcast episode in one take, because inevitably then there's some hiccup, something that they don't like, something that they want to do over, and I don't want them to become frustrated and having to record it multiple times. So I tell them, well, can you record in littler chunks, littler segments, maybe 2-3 minutes at a time, and then add all of those segments and then splice them together in the editor. That's a good way to go about it. Once you have your episode sounding the way you like it, you can preview here, and my total length isn't that long for demo purposes, but then when you're ready to publish, you can click Save Episode, and you can save it as a draft, or you can click Publish Now. So I've entered a very snazzy episode title and an episode description. You can have students publish now or in the future. I'm just going to have it set to now. You can also scroll down to the bottom, and if they are recording multiple episodes, they can give it an episode number, and they can also give a sense of style and branding to their podcast by uploading new episode art. I'll drop a link in the description to an article that describes how to use Canva to create a nice clean cover for a podcast episode. So that's something fun that students can do. I'm going to click Publish Now. And as you can see, I have my test episode. This is kind of where they would come to edit the audio. They could click Edit again. And they can copy the link to share it with you. In terms of getting the podcast episode to you, the way that I found to be the most successful is to make a Google form and share that form with students and include questions, just 3 basic questions, first and last name, class period, and the copied link that they got when they clicked copy URL. And if they drop those things in the Google form, then you'll have a spreadsheet with all of the links in one place, which is really nice for you in terms of listening. But it's even nicer if you plan to have students publish for their classmates. You could then make that spreadsheet available to students view only and tell students to listen to the 2 podcasts above and the 2 podcasts below where their name falls in the spreadsheet. So that's a nice, quick, and easy way to make the sharing of podcasts efficient with both you and other students.
Okay, so a couple things. One of which is, so Miss, if you set this up, let me go back here and show you real quick. I had made a really quick episode, so to speak. It's 59 seconds long, I think, totally. And I saved it as a draft. I didn't publish it yet, so I can go back in and edit it. And this is the edited version, where, remember I said you can record right from the application. And all you'll do is hit start recording now. It's gonna start recording for you. We don't need to worry about the messages right now because you're not going to be interviewing anyone. The library has every audio recording that I've made that I can pull in if I choose to. And then this was that transition link that she said. So I've added a transition over here. I have a couple of test recordings, and we can preview it to see what it sounds like.
This is a simple recording of my first episode. Just checking out all the features. Second recording as part of a segment of my first episode. I'm going to check out how the background music sounds and what it's like to have transitions.
So, oops. So that background music was just added in automatically for me. When you click these little music things, they give you different choices. And it timed it and everything for me. So this whole segment here that had the music, it actually, I started talking right away, but they truncated it so that like the music started, then you heard my speaking, and then they had that little outro music at the end of it, and that was all added in without me doing anything. Okay. Another cool thing with Anchor FM is that if you have a recorded audio, so we could take that Audacity audio that you've recorded, you can actually drop that right into here, and you can start using the features that are on here to change what you've already recorded. So that's a cool feature as well. Okay. So, and if you're really good, you can actually monetize it and actually have people donate to your podcast if you want. So that's down the road, right? When you're professional educators and podcasters. So this is what we need, I guess, for the rest of today. If you have your plan and you want to practice going through it, you can do that today. If you have your plan and you are ready to start recording, you can start to do that today. If you don't have your plan and you don't have your script completed, you should probably work on that today. If you're not to the point where you're recording yet, you're going to need to either schedule a time between the two of you to record so that you can get it recorded before the end of next week. Okay. I'll give you time on Tuesday of next week to do so, since we're changing gears here a little bit. But you want to make sure that if you don't get finished next Tuesday, that you are able to finish by the end of the week so that you can turn that in before midterm. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone? Like she said, you can record sections. So, you know, with mine, I recorded those two separate, and all I did is hit record, recorded it, added it in, and then recorded the next one. Okay. Questions? I know this is kind of loose. That's because I've never done this before, so we're going to see how it works. So you guys can bear with me, and I'll bear with your submissions. Okay. No questions? Okay. Well, let's either get working on your plan or get into anchor.fm and get a profile set up for one of you two so that you can start to use the features in there. And you'll use a new episode. So I can log out and show you what that looks like. This is what Anchor FM looks like when you get there. And go back to my screen share. This is what it looks like when you get there. You either need to sign up or log in. If you click sign up, it's just going to ask you to put your name, email, and a password. Say that you're not a robot. And that's pretty much it. And you're ready to go. Okay. Once you've done that, it's going to give you the options to start a new episode. Okay. So you see, mine's asking me to finish my episode that I already started. You're going to start a new episode and you're going to get, it's going to be set up like this. Okay. Questions? We're all ready to go, right? Got a plan? Okay. If you have questions about what you should be doing,